Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. We are here for our English immersion. I'm here with Jefferson, Pedrito, and Iago, and we are here to talk about impacts of work on mental health. It's a very interesting topic. It's a topic actually chosen by Bruna, that is the host for this immersion. I'm here just to replace her for today, okay? And let me explain a little bit about the platform. Talk and Talk is a language conversation platform where we can talk in many languages such as English, Spanish, French, Italian, Mandarin, and so on. And here we don't have classes. We are all, it's, it's only talks because we don't have teachers in this platform, right? Everybody, including myself, the host, we are students of the platform. So we are here to improve our English together. Sometimes we have different level of the language, but in this way we can improve ourselves. So please, guys, respect each other. Maybe if the person don't know how to pronounce correctly a word, it's okay. He or she is learning. And just be respectful. Don't judge nobody. No, don't correct anybody. Myself, I'm not going to correct, okay? But if the person asks you for some help for the translation, we can just say. So I'm going to introduce myself and then I'm going to ask you guys to do the same. I'm Amanda Oliveira. I live here in Minas Gerais, in a small city, Januária. I'm Paulista, but I'm living here like 2 years from 2 years ago, and I'm loving it because the people here are so nice. The food, oh my God, is amazing in this state, really. And I live here with my son, with my husband. My husband is not Brazilian, but he's not an English speaker, but inside our house, we speak in English every day because I want my son to be bilingual and to continuous, and we are getting through in that. I'm host here in the platform for English, Spanish, but I'm learning as well French in a challenge that Felipe did it. And I'm trying to improve in this new language that is a little bit different, but I'm getting there with the immersions. Little by little, I'm improving. It's funny to see the way I talk, my videos after I know that in the future, I will look at those videos and say, oh my goodness, I improved it so much. And that's it about me. How about you, Pedrito? Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Felipe Souza. I'm from Santa Maria. I live
Monte, no
in
more.
Santa Maria,
Monte,
Rio Grande do
o bolo
Sul.
tá na pia. Toma isso aqui.
And
Controle. No sofá.
um, I'm a DevOps engineer. I am 36 years old, married, and I have a daughter. She's 9 years old. And in my free time, I like to go outside, enjoy with my family. Also uh, take some courses in about tech stuff, new techs, and English as well to improve my English. I'm here in Top Talk since June this year, uh, particularly to improve my speaking.
Thanks, Pedrito. And English is extremely important in tech area, right? I'm a QA engineer as well. Not working right now, but all documentations and everything we have is in English, so it's nice. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for introducing yourself. And you, Jefferson, can you please talk a little bit about you?
Okay, good morning, buenos dias. I'm Jefferson. I live in Goiânia, Goiás, the most beautiful city of Brazil because I live here with my family and my friends. I love it, what I do. I'm a professor for Catholic University of Goiás, and it's a pleasure to be here talk with you. And thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jefferson. It's a pleasure to have you here in my immersion. I always see you in the internet, but I never talk to you. I already talked with Pedrito and Iago before, but you said, oh my God, this never get a immersion with you. Nice to see you here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Iago, my pleasure. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Iago. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Apoiarés, a really small town in Ceará. We have like 13,000 inhabitants here. It's really small. I'm married. We have 6 cats. You can see one here. Another one was here, but she's already sleeping. I work as an instructional designer, and I'm also studying since last year about UX design and UX writing. That's something that I want to do. And that's why I want to improve my English also. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh my goodness. How you have so many cats. My dogs would have a lot of fun trying to catch your cats. Thanks for sharing, Iago. And guys, the topic is very interesting and is regarding something that is happening a lot nowadays, right? In this world, in this crazy world we are living right now. So, uh, Pedrito, can you please read question number 1 and answer for us?
Okay. Uh, how can the work environment affect employees' mental health? Yeah, it's a good one. I think about some work environments can be uh, toxic, toxic, yeah, and or the environment, the company, or the some because some people and uh, all all workers have to improve our mentalities and our ethics and other things to not be affected with it, I think. And yes, don't get intoxicated, right? Uh, because if I think if you don't avoid or you are affected by someone, in a case, you can get some problems in our life and our routine can be affected other ones in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you mentioned something about the toxic environment, right? And nowadays, this is so affect me about this that is I know that certain people cannot give up of the work because it's working in a toxic environment. Unfortunately, it's not everybody. And toxic environment is not the company itself. Maybe the company is perfect. It's the dream company. Yeah. But if you work with in a team that some members, right, are toxic, they have a toxic relationship with you, your dream company just start to melt. And if you have support in the company to talk about that with HR or somebody, your manager, maybe if your manager is the problem, you cannot talk with him, right? But if you have other persons in the company that can assist the employees, it's okay, but most of the company doesn't have this kind of support. If you have a member that is toxic, or you work with that, and your mental health is going to be really damaged, or you just give up and try another company, quit the job and go. But I know that this is a thing that not everybody can just do it. You need some time, some plan, and in the meantime, your mental health is just just destroy. It's like you cannot work properly, you cannot live properly at home as well. Your whole world starts to be cracked, like that. What do you think,
Uh,
Iago? Oh, sorry.
and now I'm complimenting sometimes some companies not support the employees about this. Like you said, the the worker can talk with the HR or other people in the company, and after that, maybe be fired.
Yeah, that's true. They say,
And
ah,
because of that, he don't search for support inside the company.
exactly. What you just say is true. It's true. They say we are open to listen to you, right? Come and say your problems, but you can say your problems. Okay, but next day you are already fired. That's horrible. Which kind of company is that? Oh my goodness. Thanks, Pedrito, to complement your answer. Iago, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that a good work environment or a bad work environment can affect our mental health. But I was thinking about this job that I have that I had a few years ago in 2021 that I was a manager and I had the perfect team to work. We were six, I think, six or seven. And but we have to deal with a lot of other people, and this other people was the one that stressed us. So it was I had the perfect team to manage it. It was great, but when we needed to come out of our room and deal with other people, it was really stressful. So because of that, I had a burnout and I have to leave that job because even though I had the perfect team and I loved work with them, other things that come to me that it was not specific to the environment that I was in, but it was really stressful for me, and I have to leave the job because I really wasn't able to rest. I think for me was that I came home for the weekends and I could only think the problems that I have to solve and the other things that I had to do in the next 2 weeks, you know. So I wasn't able to rest enough and to forget about the job in the time that I wasn't working. So that thing became a big snowball for me, and the best thing for me was to leave that job. And I think that it was in some ways it was a good thing because it was the time that I needed to understand the boundaries that I needed to have with work, you know, because
Mhm.
we need to establish some boundaries because if we don't do that, we only live for work, and I think that we need a good balance.
Mhm. That is missing nowadays, a balance. People don't think that we are slaves of the company. It cannot be. You need to have balance to have a healthy life because the job, it's complicated. I know. Some people really need to focus in their job and too much. I was over, I did a career transition some time ago. I was from tourism to technology. So it's totally different. And for me, it was too stressful because it was too much things to learn every day, every day, every day. And I get a job also, but I couldn't manage everything, the things that I have out of the company and the company. Even if I was working from home, Unfortunately, I couldn't manage, especially I prioritize my mental health in the moment to solve the things out of the work. I'm lucky that I could do that, but sometimes we need to put a step down, right? I reached there where I really wanted, but for my mental health, I step back to have more, for my life to circle, to have more fluency, you know? It's not only about job, it's about your self-care, your family, and everything. It's complicated. Jefferson, what's your opinion?
About the first or the second question? I think you answered the first and the second, but
Yeah, it's a kind of
okay.
mix.
No worries, no worries. Let me try.
You can answer
About the
both.
okay. And I think the first the work environment, I think, plays a pivotal role in shape about the employees' mental well-being. And as you told about the toxic or the over stressful environment, terrible. Sometimes I see this with my colleagues from university, from my professors and students. I think this is not so good. You must to stay away from this kind of guys. In my case, this lead me to I don't have anxiety, but sometimes I don't feel comfortable about this. It's a kind of anxiety, depressions, and so on. You must to take care. But I see a lot of guys with anxiety, depression, burnout, and so on. And this is not so good. It's not so good for environmental because disease may increase job unsatisfaction and it's not good productivity. You have not a good way to tackle with your colleague, and sometimes you can feel unrespected, you can feel unvalued, you can feel comfortable, and so on. So the tip: stay away from this kind of man or of woman. But it's very important, the second part of the first question. You think about your organizational culture to have good relationship with your colleagues, to respect your colleagues, to have the clarity of communication, to be open-minded about all the things that you must do. And just to finish, you think about the physical workplace, as you said, Amanda. Sometimes you can work by your home, sometimes in person, and you need to take care about this, about the light, the noise, the ergonomic, about the kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to talk with the kids, the cats, and the dogs, and so on. So I think it's very important. You think about your physical workplace, and if you have a good physical workplace, it's so good for your mental health.
Yeah.
I answered just the second. Just the first, the second not.
Yeah, but now I
Yeah,
want
but
you to
I
read.
finished. Yeah, you talk about this. Just to finish the second one.
Yeah, no, read the
You told
question
about
too.
this. Yeah, you must to, in my case, in my company, the universe, I think it's not so good with about this. I think it's not so good. Maybe must to be better. As I said, because we have a lot of not professional, but a lot of professional stressful, but students, a lot of them. So I think the universe must need to move beyond program and invest in build a culture where mental health is prioritized and supported by the university. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good way to support their employees. I hope maybe one day all the companies do some programs or something like that. What do you think, Pedrito, about the question, about the Jefferson suggestions as well?
Number two,
Mhm.
yeah, I think is very important. The company gave this support uh, to employees, maybe uh, staying open, like HR, but uh, with also with other people specialized, like a psychologist and like this, to give this opportunity to the employees talk about the problems, but not, as I said before, not seeking a problem put in the the garbage after, but to give support and try to understand and resolve that. It's important. This about the people is complicated. I think, uh, like Yag said about manage people, and I was managed in a time, and it's complicated uh, leading people, but it's important to understand their problems and all if we can resolve someone's or give support for this, and then understand we can have the opportunities to uh, uh, give some, I don't know, some prosperity in your lives.
Yeah, nice thoughts. Nice thoughts. What do you think, Iago, about what Pedrito just said? You agree with him? What's your opinion? Question number two.
Yes, because I think that as we speak before, we need to have a good balance when we are doing anything, I guess. I think that sometimes for me, I have these things that when I start something, I'm really focused on, oh, I need to finish, I need to make it right. And sometimes it can be good because you're focused on that, but sometimes you are so focused on that you forget about anything, any other things that you need to do. Um, so yeah, I think that we always need to find a good balance in wherever we are doing. And I think that we need to find it mostly in work because that's the thing that we spend most of our day doing. So, for me, I always think that a bigger warning for me in a company where it's when everything is urgent, because if everything is urgent, something it's not very organized. Probably the manager is not doing their work properly if everything is urgent. So for me, that's something that I always try to be aware. And yeah, and specifically about the second question, now I don't think that companies in general are giving support for their employees because I don't know for other people in other areas, but Amanda e Pedrito in tech, I always see that the openings is for I for contractors or something like that, you know, so you don't have any work rights. And I think that's something, sometimes they can pay really good salary that it's not exactly a salary in the kind of contract. But with that, when we are contracted, as we say in Brazil, PJ, as MEI, we don't have any right. I am contracted in that way, so the only thing that I have is my payment. It's not something that I complain about it because it's okay. It's good. It's good for now for me. So, but I don't have any other thing. You know, I don't have health insurance. I don't have I don't know, gym pass or these things like that that people say that they can have, you know. So yeah, I think that in Brazil things are not going too well for us in for work. I saw this news about FGTS a few days ago. I don't know if you guys saw it, about the I don't know how to say multa, but when a company fires an employee, they have to pay 40%, right? So probably that will change, and that's not good for workers. It's only good for companies, and yeah, unfortunately, is that.
Things getting worse, never for better, right? My goodness. You know, sometimes, like you mentioned, the PJ, I don't know how to say those contractors in English, but some people prefer to have this because of the salary. That's always must be higher uh, than the CLT, for example. But people forget that you are the one who need to pay for your health insurance, for everything, for your, you know, sometimes you have some tickets for food, you know, to spend in the supermarket, your retirement, everything is on you. So you need to take this money away and save also for future and vacation, the 13th salary, I don't know. Oh, every kind of things you need to save. And you need to discount
Yes,
from this salary,
uh,
oh, Iago?
I think for me that's the vacation is something that I really missed because I think that maybe in 3 years I didn't have any vacation, you know. I can take a week off, but I really needed to plan to do that, you know, because the my salary is based on my work because my work is per demand. So my earnings are by every task that I do. So I need to plan my vacation, and that's something that I can't.
You
But
should.
yes, I need, and this week is a week that I'm taking a week off because we are not having that much work. So I talked to the manager that the of the project that I was working, and we are on a pause. And I think I'll take a week off.
Okay.
And that was not planned, but it's something good for me because I need some rest.
Yes, you need. And you need because you need to watch out. I'm going to ask Jefferson, and you are going to be the last one to answer this question specifically. Oh, Jefferson, it's going to be number 5. Why? It's talking about how can you identify the early signs of burnout in the workplace or a burnout in yourself, right? Because I know that Iago already had a burnout in the past, so he can tell us after the signs. I did. I had, so I'm going to talk later. Did you have any signs of burnout ever in your life, or you see your colleague is Jefferson?
Yeah, and COVID-19, this period terrible. I work with a lot of gadgets to work, everything new for me, everything new for me. I work artificial intelligence and Excel and Power BI and so on, but terrible. You can imagine you teaching and you can see the other side. I don't like this kind of teach by online. I think it's not so good. You can see what the guys are doing. They are eating something to watching something that they can pay attention for everything you do. And when you do a test, when you do a quiz, you don't know he is the kind of cop and paste. Terrible, all of them. Em português, colando o tempo todo. Terrible. And I think this is not so good. But especially today, we're talking about today. I see this with my students today, like Iago. I have a lot of PJ in Portuguese. All of them claim about combination of emotional, physical, behavioral symptoms, and talk a lot about this. Professor, I'm very tired. I'm very tired today. I can do not here. What can I do? I don't know what can I do. You are here to study. But professor, I'm too tired. What can I do? I need to work. I need to pay the bills. Come on, guy. I really don't know how to tackle with this. I thought, as you said, Amanda, I try to have a balance. I try to talk with them. But just to finish, I see a lot of increase of absenteeism. I see a decline of productivity, especially with my students. I see a lot of emotional exhaustion of a lot of them emotion. And sometimes terrible, I see isolation. I think this is the worst. I see a lot of students alone with your cell phone and they can talk about with anybody and just pay attention about the cell phone and sometimes answer about a work from the boss. You need to do this, to do that, but it's not the right time. But when you are PJ, you have no time. You have 24/7 hours. Terrible.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you are PJ, you cannot have, we don't have a fixed time, right? But you cannot stay 24/7 for the company as well. This is going to drive you to a burnout easy. The company don't care about you. If you don't give the service, they're going to kick you out. You cannot give your blood. You need to give your work because they hire you for something, because they think you can deliver what they ask. But you don't have to stay 24/7. I know that I almost went to a burnout because of that. I was exhausted. You said the word exhausted. That was the word, mental exhausted, because I was doing too much over my time. And I stopped it before I get sickness for that. But I get the point because I was traveling far away and then I come back and say, no, that's it. Because of the pandemic and many things that happened in the past, I don't even want to remember those things. It's past now.
Yeah, just to add something, it's very common, Amanda. I'm teaching, and the guy, come on, guy, I need to answer my boss now. And stop, stay away from the class, or in the class, talk with your boss. It's very common today. For me,
Yeah.
it's terrible, terrible.
Because they are trying to learn something. They go to the college, but they cannot focus in what you're teaching, right? Because they are focusing their and come on, that's not the time for the. I know that many people are struggling with this problem because of the time. Because if don't have fixed time, the company thinks anytime is time for a call. No way. What do you think, Pedrito? You work from home as well, right? But what do you think
Yeah,
about the signs of burnout in a workplace?
yeah, I think the anxiety is common one, and but I think this can be developed by you if the people can just try to embrace all things, all tasks, all problems to by yourself and not uh, ask for help, not ask for support. Just can try to do everything, but don't do anything with the same quality, and uh, the quality is down, and these can just get together, and the people just explode sometimes.
Yeah, you said something very important. Some people try to embrace the world, and this is
Yeah,
not possible as well. You're not hero, right? But I think it's because of the competitive world that we are. Nowadays it's so hard. Everything's so hard to keep in the job that people think they need to do more things than they can to stay on the job. But thank you for sharing your opinion. Now, Iago also he shared some time ago about this challenge that teachers had. He's not a teacher, but he was next to teachers, right, in the pandemic, and it was a terrible time. But tell us about burnout because you had one, so you have the real experience of the science of that.
Yeah, I think for me, the main sign of a burnout is not being able to rest when you have time to do that. As I said before, when I was in this work, I had this sensation of coming home at the end of the afternoon or on the weekends that I was supposed to be resting and doing other things that I like, that I wanted to do. But I didn't find the motivation to do other things besides thinking about the problems that I needed to solve and the other things that I needed to do in work, you know. So I think for me, that's the main sign. And as Jefferson said, the isolation too, because you're so focused on that, on the problems that you have to think about the next week or for the next month, I don't know. And and you isolate from other things because you don't want to do anything. And it's not because you don't want, it's because you don't have motivation enough to do other things. And I think for me, it's that sometimes now when now I can, I think I can I have a good balance with work because I have some really good boundaries to the company that I work because I they know that I even though I am a PJ, they know that I only am available on working hours during the day. So if they ask me to, oh, you have some time to do something at night or on the weekends, and I always say no. They know about that, but if they ask me to do something at night or on the weekends, I always will say no, I'm only available on working hours during the day, and they know about it. So that's a boundary that I have and that I am very strict about it because I think that if I don't do that, even though I can think, oh, I need I think it was good to have some more money doing this task, you know. But no, I need this time to rest and to do other things because for me, my work now is really exhausting when it comes to my mind. You guys said this term before, but I forget it. and and I need time to do other things so I can rest my brain, you know, because that's the only thing that I use. I'm sit here all day. So I'm only using my mind and my brain, and I need to do other things and focus on other things so I can rest about work.
Yeah, now you have the maturity enough to say that, and you have the power or the capability to do that because many people cannot do that. If the boss say, "Can you do it?" They go because they are scared to lose their jobs, and this is start the exhausting. You give to the company more than you should.
Yeah, I think that most of the people still have the think that, oh, I need to be indispensable in this company. And I don't believe in that anymore because we can be replaced very easily. Even if you do a really good job, but we can be replaced by other person that is better or not, probably. But I don't think that anymore. I think more, oh, I need to do my work. I need to see if I'm having a good feedback. I need to improve what I'm not good at, and that's okay. And do what I need to do, you know?
Yeah. You're right, you're right. And guys, thank you for coming back. How was the conversation there, Pedro? I want you, before you answer, how was that? You can answer, of course, but I want you to answer the question number 8. How can job insecurity... Oh, maybe he has a problem in the connection? Let me see, he said something. Ah, okay, Yasmin.
My
So
camera is something like, hello, hello.
hello, we can hear. So thank you, Yasmin, for coming. Was
All
nice the
right, my camera just
conversation.
got some problem.
Okay, Yasmin need to leave because she has a immersion,
Yeah, it
but
was
thank you
very
for
good.
coming. Mhm. And Pedro, can you read question number 8? How can job insecurity impact employees' mental health? What's your opinion? We didn't answer this question here, the number 8.
Sorry, I was resolving my webcam problem.
Now it's good.
All right. How can job security impact employees' mental health? Job insecurity is some beginner workers, like for example, some interns. So when you just don't have a security, what are you doing? I heard the answer about Iago, like when you put some restrictions, like to choose like where you want to work, is really important because, like you say, when we are not secure about ourselves, about our work, like the results that could have, some bosses and managers just excite for us like something like can be very bad for mental health. So for that, I think it's really important. Like we have more security about ourselves, even we are not like senior employers. We have to understand like for example, I am a junior and product designer. So, but I had some knowledge about that. I know my limits. I know like what are my job and my tasks like I had to do. So we have to be more confident about ourselves because like if we are just insecurity, maybe we can have bad damages and more abusive relationships. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Totally agree. I felt a kind of that before because I was a junior in technology. I was a QA junior. Oh my goodness. And I didn't know my limit. And maybe I want to do things that it's not supposed for a junior to know because I see people doing. I say, my goodness, I have to know this. I have to do this. No, I don't have anything. I can make many mistakes. I'm a junior. I can make mistakes. And the people that are planner, not planner, intermediate, senior, they know that our limit and they are not supposed to ask us for those certain things, right? Yeah, but guys, we don't have more time for to answer any more questions, but the topic was very, very good. I really like it. Very interesting to talk, to know your opinions. How was the immersion for you, Jefferson?
As well, good questions. Good guys answered the questions. Very interesting. And I hope not to be stressed and not with anxiety about the the meeting today because we talk a lot about toxicals. And I hope not to have physical health or mental health with this meeting. But I'm a positive guy. I hope one day you can change this reality. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jefferson. I learned a lot with you too, your thoughts. Thanks for sharing. It was a pleasure. And Pedrito, what's your opinion about the topic, the immersion? Did you learn something?
About the subject was amazing. I think it's important to talk about this always, and the our discussion was very good. We can see the impact about our mental health, for example, and other things. And this is good for us and for our watchers on YouTube, for example. It's very important.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Thanks for sharing, Pedrito. And you, Iago, how was the topic, the immersion for you? Remembering that that was Bruno's topic and it was amazing. I really like it to talk.
Yes, I think it was a really good topic to talk about it. I think I had a conversation a few times here about it. I think that in other emotion that you were in it, I talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
And yes, I think it's always good to talk about these topics related to work because we can reflect on the things that we do and mostly about this topic, the boundaries that we need to have in work to have a good work life, personal life balance, and to think on the things that we do for work and the things that we need to think about it to when we need to change works. So it was really good.
Yeah. Thanks, Iago, for sharing your opinion. You, Pedro, you stayed in the second room, but you come here in the end. How was everything for you? The conversation, the topic?
Was a very good topic. I liked it so much. Sometimes I had more personal and involved more worky in play work topics, and I like that because like we have to compare like the different times, like different professions that we have the people here in Talk. And in reality, we know like we saw like some things like could be bad for mental health, even in digital workers that we saw like it's more flexibly, but we know the reality is different. It's sad, but it's different. Like he say, we are flexible, we are more humans, but the truth is they just want to earn money. That's the reality. But I like it so much. The talk, Ricardo could stay with us like he 10 minutes just, but he was making us some good contribution, and Yasmin was so good too. I really appreciate this conversation.
Ah, that was great, Pedro. I would like to stay everybody in the same room because I like to know everybody's opinion, but it's always nice to share because you can talk a little bit more, right? And this was an open topic. We need to give too much opinions, but was nice as well here. I really appreciated all the guys talk, all of you. It was a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much. If you have any thoughts about any topics, want to give a feedback, you can send your answer there, and Bruna can check and see your opinions. Next week, she's going to be back here, okay? Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.